Yo, how's it going, guys? So, back down, another video, back on the boost pipes. So, if you remember, I said I didn't really like the boost pipe off the turbo, so I was going to change it. So I did do it, didn't record it, 'cause I thought you didn't want to watch me do that multiple times, but I still don't like it. So, I redid it so it was sort of straight, but I don't like it still. So, I'm going to have to cut that flange off again. I'll tidy it up, but I'm going to, wherever it is, my workshop's such a mess, redo it. The whole thing, start fresh. I had some leftover tube from the inlet manifold, so we're going to do all out of that. Going to pie cut it so we can get this coming down at a nice angle. Pie cut there, and then this bottom piece will do as well. So, I'm undecided whether or not to record it. It's probably not worth it. You don't want to see me do the same boost pipe over and over again. So I'm going to crack on and get that done, and hopefully cut back to you guys once I'm, somewhere near with that. So I have a guest today, actually. Some of you OG sort of original subscribers, and the guys that used to watch all my early videos will remember this little guy. Busty! Bust! Where is he? There he is. So I got Buster with me today. He hasn't been down here in ages. So yeah, he's an old boy now. Bust. Yes. So he's going all grey. He's going all grey. But yeah, so we've got Busty keeping us company today, you mate. Not sure if he's happy about that or not. He probably just wants to be home in his bed, where he prefers to be. Now he's an old boy. But it's his 15th birthday in September. And you buddy. So yeah, got Busty keeping me company today, which is a nice change. Haven't had him down here in a while. So yeah, so I'm going to crack on and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Cheers. Bye. Well guys, so I did the boost pipes. I'll show you in a minute. That was a couple of days ago, that last little clip. Run out of time and yeah, life got in the way. So I'm back now. And bada boom. How much better does that look? So, done. Done. So yeah, loads happy with this. Obviously I need to fully weld it all up, but it's just a lot cleaner. Looks cool. It's better, it's 3mm wall tube, so it's better tube than that thin, like 1mm stuff. Just looks a lot better. I'm not sure how I'm going to do what sort of finish on it yet. I don't know if I'll have it painted or powder coated or just like wire brush it finish. But either way, it's done. It needs fully welding. But yeah, so we're all done on the, pretty much done. I mean, you know, it's going to be an hour or so of welding, but we'll do that another time. So boost side, like turbo, intercooler and boost pipe side is all done. Happy days. So I have been messing around with the prop for a little bit, and way back when I was doing the whole setup, the prop always used to foul on this here. So it used to come through, and that was like it's quite a low spot. You can see, don't know where, you see where it kind of drops down there, drops down and then comes back up. So it does foul on there, and it also fouls on this piece here as well. Just like, I don't know, probably say about that much. So I'm gonna have to get the angle grinder out, do some cutting, I think. So I'm gonna take that lump out anyway. So we're gonna cut that out, and then we're probably gonna cut out straight through there, and then I can build that back up with some fresh sheet metal. Probably like maybe go all the way through there. Don't know yet, but we gotta do some grinding and whatnot. So I'm gonna crack on with that. Sound. Enjoy. Bye. Yo guys, so what happened? As you saw, I cut the floor out, made room for the prop, got the prop in, and then I was going to make, obviously, mounts for that centre donut, but after looking at the prop, let me get it and I'll show you what I mean. Well, for starters, I wasn't happy with that bit of alley I turned up. It was quite big. It was like, it wasn't too big, but it didn't have to be that big. So I've actually redone it and made a smaller one that's only a little bit bigger than this. So it will just be, yeah, it just gives me more movement in the tunnel. So I've done that and changed that. But the reason I've halted on getting that in is I noticed that this sort of rubber donut, whatever it is, was so flexy and it's quite worn and cracked and brittle. I don't know if you'll be able to see if I bring that down there, but can you see they're like, it's cracking around. It's really hard to show you, but so like when you flex it, like I said, I don't know if you can see, but like there's lots of cracks in the rubber, and like you can see how much I can actually move this. It's actually, oh yeah, I can move it quite a lot. So I thought there's no point me putting everything in place the way it should be if these aren't 100%. And these are wobbling all over the place because I just feel like I probably won't get it in the perfect position. So I've actually ordered 2 new ones of those, a front and a rear. So I'm going to wait for them to come and then do it then. So hopefully it'll be, 100% that the first time. So I don't want to do it, then put new ones on and it's actually putting a lot of strain on them or whatnot. It'll just be pointless. So yeah, so what we're going to do today is, as you saw, I've got the I got all the intercooler pipes done. So that's all tacked up, the inlet's tacked up and whatnot. So that's all done and cool, and we're kind of happy with that. It's a lot of welding to do next, really. Just a lot of just going to be sat down doing a shitload of welding. So what I'm going to do today, because one, I'm not really in the mood to do much welding. So on the desk, I've got a few bits and bobs we can play with. So we've got 3-inch tube. This is going to be the down part of the downpipe. So I can cut these into pie cuts for the initial 90 that comes out the back of the turbo. So we can do that. Got some 44mm tube. So this can be the wastegate pipe. So we can start cutting some of that. I've got a 90 because I want to do a bit of a teardrop finish on the top. We've also got this, which is stainless steel hardline for the turbo feed. So this is 1/4 inch. I wanted to go hardline, one because it's a lot neater, so I can actually run a nice tidy line from the turbo down the side of the engine and along the front to the oil pickup, to the oil housing where I take the oil feed from. So this will be a lot neater, it's less likely to fail than braided hose, it looks tidier, yeah. So might bend, I've done one bend just to see how it bent, and with my little tube bender it's actually really good. So I think to start with, I'm going to bend some of this and get a rough shape. I've got another length, so this could be a practice go, and then from there we can do another one, but this one might come out alright. So I've already started, so that's out of the turbo, and then it's going to come down. So, make sure you guys can see what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that is essentially going to come out and then come down behind the turbo, like sort of at this angle, down the side of the engine and then along the front. So let's do some bending. Do a bit of bending. Sound? Enjoy, guys. Wicked, so there you go, kind of got it. So that's a good mock-up piece. So yeah, can you see under there? So yeah, it goes down into a T-piece out of the oil housing, and then nicely along the side there, so I can like probably, still not 100%, but I can probably clip it to something. And then yeah, and then it goes up to the turbo, which I tried to put a bend in there around the manifold, and then ignore this bit up. So this piece isn't quite long enough. So as you can see, it's not quite reaching the oil. Oh shit! But that's a good mock-up, very good mock-up. Now, because I've got the other piece, like I said, I can actually I can go from this piece onto another bit and just give me a little bit more length up top, is the idea. And yeah, so happy days. That is the oil feed mocked up. I ended up using, this is actually quite flexible, so I ended up using like a copper pipe bender for like a brake pipe bender. There you go, got there eventually. And it puts a little bit of a nicer curve in than this. I mean, this does a pretty good job, you know, it's a nice bend, and so does that and whatnot. But for that top hoop, that one, the brake line bender's a lot better. Okay, so next, what I remembered, because I brought some bits and bobs home that I've had kicking around, because I've been doing the wiring loom. You say I brought them, where are they? I swear I brought them in the house, in here. Here they are. Yeah, right, so injectors. Doesn't seem to have four. It's falling out the box somewhere. Probably in the car, 2 seconds. Probably falling out in the car. Cool. Yeah, they're in the car. So, I've had these at home because they have different plugs on than my old ones. So, as I've been doing the ECU at home, re-pinning it. It took a moment, so I had the plugs. So I think we have a fuel rail and we have a manifold. So I'm thinking we're going to get these in, because then I can figure out the bracket, the length of the bracket I need to go there and there. We need a little bit of lube. Oh, I've got a metal split, no, I know that. Need some silicone spray. Got some somewhere. No, I don't. Right. We'll just use a little bit of grease for now. We're not staying in there permanently. So we'll just use a smidgen of grease wiped on each one. What we'll do is we'll get it in the fuel rail first, and then we'll go from there. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. It's another little job done. It's another little job done. Put it on there. And yeah, kind of good. Right, next, we're going to chop some tube up. So I'm going to set the bandsaw up and get some bits cut. See you in a minute. Cheers. Hey guys, so my battery died in that last little clip, but we are literally like 2 weeks on now. So I had a look at the video footage. I've got a couple of videos that I need to upload for doing the fuel system and whatnot, and other bits and bobs. But I kind of realised, looking at this footage, that I'm a bit raking here, there and everywhere and doing a bit of this and a bit of that, a bit of this. So I'm going to try and get a bit more on track. Something else that happened while I was away was this. Yep, engine's out and it's on the floor, just there, gearbox there. So there is a good reason for that though, and that reason is because I had to make some measurements for my clutch, and my clutch came. So a little bit of unboxing, got one other thing as well. So we're going to quickly unbox, I'll show you the clutch. And then we're going to get the clutch in, gearbox back on, engine back in, and then it shouldn't have to come out, and I can, when it's ready, I can test start it basically and run through the gears. So let's have a quick unboxing. So to start with is this. This is just a little switch panel. So this is going to control my fuel, pumps, fans, and anything else. It's just a neat little aluminium body. It's all into one, it's one wiring loom. That's like a fuse board with built-in relays. If I can get it out, I'll show you. Hang on, he says. There you go. So it's got relays and fuses and all sorts all built in. So all you do is just plug into there whatever you want each button to do. There you go. So there's that. So that's that. But then the expensive part is this CG Motorsport clutch. It's the 888 model, so it's a twin plate. good for what, 750 foot-pounds, I think, something like that. Can't actually quite remember, but I had to take some measurements off the engine and the gearbox for the flywheel. So it's got a nice lightweight flywheel. I can get this off. Yeah. Boom. So there she is. 2-piece twin plate and super duper light flywheel. So that should hopefully be more than enough to hold the power I want. And then some. So that's going to be going on. And this is a bearing. Thrust bearing, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. And a new bearing. So yeah, CG Motorsport did an awesome job getting that sorted. I rang them up, tell them what I was doing, what I wanted. 12 valve VR6 to whatever the engine code is on that one, I can't remember. Gearbox code. What is the gearbox code? Where is it? Oh yeah, DRP. That's it, DRP. But it's basically an O2M with it's an O2M 6-speed with a half shaft on it for the 4-wheel drive. So they went, yeah, no problem. That was that. A couple of days later, got a phone call saying, oh, we just want some measurements to make sure. So they sent me over a form and just did some measurements from sort of where the flywheel bolts to the bolt, like where the bearing's fully out, fully in, bloody blah blah, you know, just to be doubly sure. So, and yeah, they were really, really good. Can't really rate them enough, to be honest. Well, I will be using them again if I ever need to. So yeah, that's good things. That's another big ticket item, sort of off the list. I think the clutch was I think it was about 900,000 pounds, something like that. It's a lot of money, but it's needed. You know, there's no point in me putting a cheap clutch in it just because I'll have to rip it all apart and then put another one in, and yeah. So, you know, I'm all for on a budget where I can and get away with cheaper parts in some places, but I will spend the money where it's important, if you know what I mean. So, clutch and flywheel was one of those things that was important. So yeah, I just went all out on that one. It's all the parts are replaceable, which is good. The pressure spring, like plate, that's replaceable. Obviously the discs are replaceable. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, we are going to get the clutch, flywheel on, clutch on, gearbox on, engine back in the bay. Got my mate Baker coming down to give me a hand because that gearbox weighs a ton. I took it off by myself and nearly snapped in half because I'm only little. So yeah, hopefully he's going to be down. He's going to give me a hand getting this bad boy back in. Sound. Enjoy, guys. Cheers.